My 23M girlfriend, 22F, is angry that I do not want to be snowed in with her. For the record, we have been dating for 6 years and still both live at our childhood homes with our parents. Both of us are still in college but graduating soon. A snowstorm is hitting our area soon and my girlfriend wants me to spend the night snowed in with her because we will not be able to see each other otherwise. Also, she will be very busy the next few weeks and wants to spend time together before we cannot. Even though we do not live together, we are not a couple that does not spend a lot of time together. We are together almost every day and it is rare that I say I want to do something else, hang out with friends or play video games or something. She never wants to do anything besides see each other. I basically said I have no interest in being snowed in at her house. I said it fairly nicely but I did not tiptoe around because I knew it would be an issue no matter how I said it. She has a very small house and her mom, her and me would be on top of each other however long I was there. I have a much larger house where I can avoid people to my leisure. At her house I would also be relegated to sleeping on the couch because her mom would not want us sleeping together. This doesn't bother me, my parents are the same way, but I just enjoy sleeping in my own bed and being in my room. Additionally, my house has all of my food and my mother cooks dinner for me every night. If I went over to her house I would have to plan out a meal to cook and cook it. I also have my internship and school remotely which I feel much more comfortable doing at my desk in my room than at her house on my laptop. Laptop isn't in great shape but she would be quick to point out it does work. Now I am often accused of being immature which I honestly can understand because I am very close with and live with my parents. I was never thrilled about sleepovers as a child and I still do not love sleeping at my girlfriend's house, even when her mom is away, because I just do not sleep well and I am so much more comfortable in my own space. Yes, I am 23 and maybe my mother's home cooking should not be a deal breaker but it comes down to the fact that I just do not feel like spending the snowstorm there. Too long didn't read. Girlfriend wants me to sleep over during snowstorm. I do not want to because I feel more comfortable at my own home. Do you guys/gals think I am totally in the wrong and should just go there? I don't think either of you is wrong in this situation, you just have different wants. Is there any possibility of her coming over to you, if she wants to see you for the last time for a few weeks? Just be careful of veering too far into mama's boy territory, that gets less and less appealing as you get older. Did you offer her coming to you? There's not really a in the wrong in this kind of situation. It's your life. You get to live it however you want. So if you want to stay with your parents instead of your girlfriend, do that. But if she wants to be upset about it, she's allowed to be. You get to decide who you want to be. She gets to decide if she likes that person or not. Advice for the future: not now. Don't move in together straight from your parents. Live with roommates or alone first. That teaches you to be apart from your parents and rely on yourself, not your partner. I understand your reasoning for wanting to be in your own space. I like to sleep in my own bed, in my own room, and have my own work stuff in its place. But yeah, the meal thing, that's a little embarrassing to admit for a man your age. My BF, 25 meters, is driving me, 20F, crazy by calling me crazy and delusional and controlling, but then begging me to stay. For context, I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 months. He wasn't anything to write home about at first, to be honest, and I thought of him more so as a friend, but slowly grew fond of him as we got to know each other better and I respected our differences. I liked how he was motivated and ambitious and extroverted. I am the opposite. Anyways, I know this may sound so ridiculous because it is, but we decided for me to move out across country to live with him after a time of being friends. During this time, there was this guy who was stalking us and I was having awful anxiety about it. One night I had a really bad feeling this guy was dangerous. My flight or fight kicked in and I asked my boyfriend if we could go camp because I was afraid this guy would do something. He said no. Called me delusional and crazy. I begged for him to come and eventually he did. Told him how I didn't like being called names and he took that as me attacking him and threatened to call the police to tell them I kidnapped him. Threatened to throw all of my art stuff out, etc. Then, his mom calls me and tells me to try to work through it with him because he was never taught how to respect women men because he was raised by his father who doesn't, and that I was right in feeling scared. Anyways, after my boyfriend making me second guess myself to the point I didn't trust myself anymore, I found the stalker's background, and he had a Class A felony and 3 other felonies for assault against women. He apologized and bought me flowers, but the words still stick in my head, after he's called me stubborn and said it's my way or no way when I have tried setting boundaries or having standards. I admit I'm not perfect, but I feel as if it's more productive to talk things out instead of name calling. Yesterday, I tried to spend quality time with him by cooking. He has a few social media followers and one of his friends is working on a clothing brand. He asked me to take a couple pics for him and I said okay, did it, but then he starts writing a caption for 15 minutes when we were supposed to be spending quality time together. Tell him how I feel, and by then, I'm honestly annoyed and almost done prepping, so I opt to do it myself. He then comes over to help and he does, but then he pulls his phone out again and he's always on it, and I just explained how I wanted to have quality time, which means no distractions, and he does it again. I get frustrated, once again, and he gets upset and tells me he isn't hungry anymore. I don't understand why it's so hard not to just respect someone. Not only that, but he's trying to become a rapper, and to be honest, his music is okay, so I try to support him but also tell him how sometimes it sucks, but his ego is so big. He walks around like he's big and he will play his music for his friends and they hype him up. I know music is subjective, but I also just know he's been living in LA for 2 years and hasn't really made it anywhere, despite how much content he has. To me, that means he needs to do some tweaking. I will admit I was way too blunt about how I said it, and I can see how it was disheartening, so I did apologize. But he took it as me being controlling, not me trying to help. I don't want to control his music, but I want him to get where he wants. He can't take criticism. I feel like a mother. I want to break up with him, but I tried last night and he begged me not to and told me he wants me to be his ride or die, and it's too soon for me to tell if things will work. I literally disagree, because in 3 months, if this is already happening, it can only get worse in my opinion. I have no way out because I don't have money to leave and I have nowhere else to go. What should I do? Too long didn't read. My boyfriend, 25M, is emotionally exhausting me, minimizes my feelings to me being crazy and delusional, doesn't take criticism at all, and doesn't respect me. I, 20F, want to leave but I don't have the funds or anywhere to go to leave. What should I do? You don't his permission to break up. This guy sounds awful, please leave. Sell everything you own but don't need. Borrow everything you can from friends or family. Beg if you have to, but get out ASAP. He is ridiculous, and dangerous for you and your mental and physical health. Call your family if you can and borrow some money for a ticket, throw some clothes in a bag and leg it the fuck out of there. There is no shame in saving your own life. You know that this is a really bad situation already. There is no working through anything because he doesn't think he's in the wrong, and his own mother makes excuses for him and enables him. He will beg you to stay because he enjoys the power games, not because he loves you. Please leave before you become his punching bag. Get out as soon as you can. Is there anyone in your extended family / old friends who could lend you money to get home? You are right to see the red flags here. Don't doubt yourself. Your instincts sound dead right. Wouldn't tell him you are planning to leave. He's escalating his controlling behavior already, and it will be easier to organize without him obsessively watching. Are there any local shelters / women's charities you can contact for advice on local help? For context, I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 months. Fucking what? Girl, you know how this ends. Get the hell out and stay out. My GF, 26, admitted that she believes I, 20F, love her more than she loves me. My girlfriend is very affectionate and caring for the most part. She may even be more affectionate and thoughtful than I am. However, last night I told her that I think I loved her more and she agreed without hesitation. Why I think this is that I'm more forgiving and patient with her and I would always be the one to chase her. Now I can't help but question that if you love someone as much as they say they love you, wouldn't you think that they themselves would always believe their love is more? Am I being petty? It just doesn't sit with me that it's a fact that she doesn't love me as much as I love her, even with all her sweet words. TLDR, my girlfriend said I love her more than she loves me, and I question if this is normal or if I'm being petty. Edit, thank you for all your comments. Maybe I was pretty, but someone told me that I deserve to be loved as much as I love. Yeah, I mean, everyone has a diff way of interpreting this, but, for a lot of girls/guys who've put up with enough of people's shit, they are the ones that are most bulletproof when shit hits the fan. For example, if she keeps forgiving you for every mistake, she loves you less with each time. Until the last tuck up, that's when she loves you the least, but you love her the most. I say this cause I went through a similar situation where I wholeheartedly believed my partner loved me more than I did. Even if I am very affectionate and genuine in my love, and it's simply a way of interpreting love/trust for a person. This is my take on it, but she probably genuinely loves you. First of all, trying to quantify love in a romantic relationship is a non-starter. There's no way to say you love your GF like 9/10 and she loves you 7/10. Love expresses and manifests itself in so many deeply personal ways. That's not a helpful way to discuss this. What it sounds like is this: I'm more forgiving and patient with her, and I would always be the one to chase her. Is the real issue here? You're worried that this relationship is imbalanced because you desire your girlfriend so much you'd always work to save your relationship, but she doesn't desire you as much, so she would potentially let you go without much of a fight. You want to feel like the two of you are mutually invested in the viability of the relationship, and you found out that that may not be the case. I think you need to have a sit-down discussion about where both of you see things going, what you want out of the relationship, etc. And look, honestly, 26 versus 20 is kind of not great. I'm not gonna say it's a massive warning sign without more info, but the growth most people do from 20 to 26 is astounding, or it should be lol. I'm not gonna deny there are plenty of immature arrested development 26-year-olds out there, and it for sure will influence how you view/discuss relationships. Usually that was a teenager less than a year ago versus has been out of the house and responsible for themselves for 4 to 5 years. Once again, without more info, this is just generalities, so your maturity levels, views, and relationship experience may line up very well. I'm just wanting to add this because there may be some differences in perspective and experience here that are influencing the both of you. Whether that makes the situation better or worse though, it's hard to say from the info provided. I'm super freaked by the other comments here. That doesn't seem petty at all to me. I'm not sure how long you two have been together, but there's no way I could hear my partner tell me that they don't care about me as much as I care about them and be okay with it. That would hurt. There's way you can be blamed for feeling conflicted about this. I'm sorry you're put in this situation. I think talking to her about how you feel about this is going to be your best move. Don't try to blame her or make her feel bad, just express that you're a little hurt by these words, and go from there. Okay, so having your partner say that they love you less than you love them is hurtful. However, let's just talk about why you brought it up in the first place. It seems to me that you're starting to feel unappreciated or unimportant. If you always do the chasing, it says to me you feel she's not putting as much effort in. If you're more patient, it says to me you don't feel she gives you the benefit of the doubt or maybe even doesn't trust you. Bringing up the subject of who loves more says, I feel insecure in this relationship. Having your partner confirm that insecurity is going to hurt, because it means the beginning of the end. Why the end? Because she isn't as invested in making things work, and less investment means less likelihood of success.